Hello there, this is the Nihilisis Two Kings here. My name is Brendan, and I'm gonna be leaving in 15 minutes, so I thought I'd pump out a video. And I would like to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. So, before I actually start talking about that, I will have to state I just realized that if you look at every single video that I post that has a date instead of a name, if you actually look in the descriptions, you'll see the name. Well, because I put it there thinking that was the title. So I'm kind of stupid. But besides that shit, I wanted to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. See, I'm a dungeon master. You know, I'm the DM. I come up with the stories and the adventures, but I've played a couple characters. And the one thing I always like to do is I like to tie my characters together, even my stories. So before I go, I would like to tell you guys the timeline of my D&D campaign. So oh no, I got an itch. Anyways, to start things off, I would like to go with my very first D&D character, Suko. Now, Suko, he's just an asshole. That's what he was. But Suko, he was a human fighter. He was definitely the most nobly powerful character in the party, and nobody, even God, could slay him. So he's to this day still one of my favorite characters. But in my whole D&D storyline campaign, Suko is actually the oldest character. Then, following Suko, I had all of this memorized, and then I lost it all. So Suko is in the past. Then we have my next D&D character, who's way far in the future. His name was Vajiba. Vajiba was, he was a rogue. He was a half-elf rogue. And Vajiba was just a sick, twisted character. He was. He rose from hell to kill the last of the gnomes. And he senselessly murdered people in every village he went to. And he slew a dragon. Only character I have that slew a dragon. So, he is by far the farthest point in my storyline. My next character, I might be pumping out these pretty fast, but that's because I'm going to have to go real soon. So, I'm just going to basically say my characters. So we got Suko, who was my first D&D character. I'm not going to do them in order now. I'm going to do them in order of the timeline. So we have Suko, who was in the past. Then we have the present, which is Doug, who's my ranger. Doug actually wiped out a village of gnomes, which relates to my next character, Polknife, which was a gnome, and when he was a little kid, someone killed his village and drove him into a crazy rage where he wanted world domination. Which then, you go to Vajiba, who's the farthest point, who's fighting a gnome dictator. So, it's actually all tied up right there. Well, there's a character that, when I was being a DM, they bumped into Suko. It was Rex, Chad, and Joe. They bumped into Suko, and they bumped into this little boy named Mikinomi. Now Mikinomi I've created, but I've never played him. But his story is he was 6 years old when Suko returned, and basically sparked his interest in magic and stuff. So his character starts at 6 years old in the modern timeline, but when I actually play him, he's going to be in the future timeline, right around the time of the gnomes. But yes, Mikinomi actually becomes a mage. So, but he right now, he is a 6-year-old kid in the main storyline. Suko is actually dead story-wise, but as for right now, because we're still in the main, the now timeline, Suko is not dead. So sadly, Vegeta doesn't exist. The gnome is still a baby at this point in time. Doug is the only one who's at the proper age. Suko's old as fuck. Mikinomi, well, Suko's older. Mikinomi is a kid. And then there's another character who his name is Suko as well. This is the character I'm actually creating right now. Pretty much what happened was Mikinomi actually learns dimensional travel and time travel. I'm no longer going to actually play Mikinomi. I'm literally keeping him for story-wise as a DM. So I'm going to call him my DM's character. And his whole thing is he actually managed to do time dimensional bullshit, accidentally though, where he accidentally goes back in time to when before everybody was alive. He went to first campaign. So he ends up being trapped there for a while, and he ends up having a kid. He ends up naming the kid Suko in honor of his brother, because for him, Suko died a very, very brutal death. So in honor, he named his son Suko, but he kept his mother's name, so his name is Suko Blue. So Suko Blue is a monk. He's a monk who basically, his whole philosophy is he doesn't worship any of the gods. In fact, he believes that gods are actually people that have managed to fully master their ki to the divine level. So his kind of goal is to be that of a god, which Suko Blue is actually Suko Blue and Suko are actually the same age. They were both actually born on the exact same date. So when referring to these characters, I'm going to just call my first one Suko and my second one Suko Blue. That's all I can think of right now, because I really should be going. So if there's anything you want to ask about those characters, please ask. And yes, I finally got a bunch of dummies that are going to let me record them for Dungeons and Dragons. It's going to be hectic as hell, because it's going to be like 7+ people. So it's going to be rad. I'm actually doing it tomorrow. Help me. But yeah, so I gotta go. Bye.